Hello and welcome to Sincerely Elvis Presley. I'm Sean. Thanks for tuning in today. I do appreciate it. Now, those of you that are familiar with my channel might remember me a while back saying there won't be any unboxings for a while. And since then I've done a couple of unboxings, so sorry for the misinformation. I didn't think there was going to be, and obviously I guess it's because of the fact that we're in August. Maybe that's kind of slotted in those release schedules a little bit. But around about a month or so ago, Music on Vinyl announced that they were going to reissue 15 of the titles that they'd issued before. This time they'd be available in two formats: standard coloured vinyl format limited to 2,500 copies each, which is reasonably standard for what they usually do. But then if you got them direct from the Music on Vinyl website, there were going to be limited edition marbled versions that were limited to 500. Now, I think this is a great strategy. I really don't understand why FTD can't do something along these lines. Yeah, the people that have got the original limited numbered, well, they've still got they're still limited and they're still numbered and they're different coloured anyway, so it's not like they're just putting the same thing out again. But what they're doing is giving people the opportunity to get their hands on those that they might have missed out on. And let's face it, the Music on Vinyl, they are a quality product. They do the sleeves really well, the vinyl's usually pretty good, and I don't think you can go wrong really. When you look at the moment, if you go onto their website, now unfortunately this seems to only be restricted to Europe, because I know in the States the Music on Vinyl direct site isn't shipping there. I don't really know why that is. But if you go on there today, you can get the limited exclusive vinyl bundle. So that's Elvis at Stax, that's A Date with Elvis, and that's Elvis Sings. You get all three on limited marbled vinyl, 500 copies each, and you can get that for a bundle deal that's on sale at £82, and that includes free shipping, because once it's over £60 on their site you get free shipping. I think that's a phenomenal deal for 3 albums that are that limited. Absolutely phenomenal. Myself, my approach is going to be with these releases that there's only a few that I want to get, ones that I didn't get before. So, with this initial batch of 3, I've already got Music on Vinyl Elvis at Stax, and I've already got A Date with Elvis. I've got both of those in blue vinyl. So I've given those ones a pass, but I hadn't got a copy of Elvis Sings at all. That one really did pass me by. When I started recollecting again, I haven't even got it on CD. And the original version of that, which I believe was a record store day release, I think it was red vinyl, that's really hard to get hold of. So the fact that they're putting it out again and making it accessible and giving you a second shot at it, I think is brilliant. And like I said, I think FTD, personally, I think they could take a leaf out of their book. I think it would be a great strategy, because it doesn't devalue those originals. Those originals are still as rare as they ever were. So I think it's brilliant. So I've got here Elvis Sings. Now, so if they're releasing 15 and the first batch is August, then it stands to ring, because they said it's going to go through to Elvis's birthday in January. So it looks like they're going to do 3 a month. So we're going to have September, October, November, December, January. October, November, December, January. That would make 5. I'm not sure what the release schedule is, but I presume we're going to get roughly 3 a month in different formats of the vinyl. And actually, I digress, I know. Just something I wanted to, before I open this, talk about a little bit. Got the right one, look, P Sings. That was underneath the label. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis Presley in Concert movie. When he announced it in January, it had the TCB logo and it said 2025. Now, I think a lot of people, myself included, thought we're going to get to see that film this year. And I've still heard people, even in the last few days, saying, maybe it will get released in, October, November. I honestly don't think it will. if it's premiering at a film festival in September, and Joel Weinshanker said at Elvis Week it hasn't got a distributor yet. So if a film's premiering at a festival, it's kind of putting it out there to try and attract a distributor. So then they've got to get a distributor. Then they've got to make all the arrangements to do that. Then they've got to get a slot that works for cinemas to not sort of slot it in when there's loads of other things coming out. So I personally don't think, unfortunately, we're going to see that movie unless you're lucky enough to be at that film festival in Toronto. I don't think we're going to get to see that film this year. I think even Weinshanker said something potentially released around Elvis's birthday in January 26. So I think, unfortunately, I think we're probably going to have to temper our expectations a bit on that, because I honestly don't think we're going to see the film this year. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't. Anyway, that was just an observation I had. As I said, I've heard people say, "Oh, you know, maybe October, November release." I just don't think it will be, unfortunately. Right, let's get this beauty open now. Have we got any kind of strip? Is that a strip? I'll probably be as... oh no, look. We are there. Here we go then. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, apparently there's like a cloth feel to the cover, like an imprint Hessian sort of feel, which I think is a beautiful touch. So automatically here, I know it's a double, but I can feel the weight. This is a hefty beast. Brilliant. Limited edition of 500 individually numbered copies on gold and red marble vinyl. So I think the others that are coming out, I think there's a silver and black and a red and white marble for the first two others in the batch. But there we go, Elvis Sings. What a fantastic concept, really, taking all, you know, singing all the songs of other famous artists. It's almost taking that the approach that On Stage did, Elvis doing other people's well-known songs and sort of putting it together. But yeah, as I say, this one, so I've got number 333 here out of the 500. It's as usual in the Music on Vinyl sort of sticky sit-down resealable case, which I must admit I'm not a huge fan of, because they can find themselves stuck to your covers when you try and get them back in. But of course you've got to keep it because it's got your number, your sticker on the front. But yeah, you can see that's like a linen sort of feel. I think that's coming out on camera. So that's a nice touch, you know, that gives it a point of difference. So there are your track lists. And inside we get the famous picture of Dylan with that Warhol picture that I believe he bought, if I remember rightly, straight from Mr. Warhol himself. So let's have a look at this vinyl then. We get an insert which I think came with the original. Let's have a look at that. So that's faithfully reproduced, but okay. So on this one we get the original insert. That's fantastic, cool photograph of Elvis and Glenn Campbell out calling Glenn and out calling Sinatra, Frankie boy. So there's our insert that would have come for the original, but what we do get is the flyer showing you all their releases. Now, do they say what months they're coming out? No, they don't. But there you get to see. So there are the standard limited editions. So those are the ones that are down to 2,500. And then there are the Music on Vinyl store exclusives. I mean, what a fantastic thing to do. I really, really applaud them for doing this. I think it's brilliant. And I really like the fact that, you know, you're going to be able to hopefully pick up ones that you missed out on first time around. Now I can already feel that sticky sleeve has stuck to that. So, okay, let's have a look. So this is, what did we say? Red and gold marbled vinyl. Okay, there's a slight bit of marble in there. I wouldn't say it's overly dramatic, but pretty enough. Yeah, it's got kind of, when it hits the light, there's a sort of goldy sheen to the orange. So it's not dramatic, but quite nice nevertheless. Quite pretty. I imagine some of the other colours are going to pop a bit better. I think you're getting that marbling, but it is very subtle. But the quality of the vinyl looks superb. You know, I unboxed the Graceland exclusive of Sunset Boulevard the other day, and the vinyl on that is fantastic, and this looks equally as good. So it's always nice, because I think in recent times you can get used to opening up brand new vinyl and it's got all bits sort of stuck to it, bits of paper and, you know, dust and what have you, that, you know. But it looks like the factory with these releases does take great care of them. The fact that they're in the polyline sleeves helps as well, but that vinyl looks fantastic. So I'm chuffed to bits with that one. Should eagerly rate what the next three are, but you never know. As I said, there's only really 2 that I'm after of the next 12, so the next batch of 3 might have nothing that appeals to me. But yeah, if as I say, it's unfortunate in the States for some reason they're not shipping direct from Music on Vinyl, but if you're in Europe and you fancy these, I'd say at the moment the bundle of 3 is on special offer at £82 with free shipping, which, you know, absolute bargain really for the quality of these releases. So yeah, chuffed to bits to get my hands on that one. Thought I'd just come on and share it. It would have been nice to share all 3, but, you know, for once I've exercised restraint, which is unusual. So yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think. Do you applaud this idea of reissuing them in different colours and making them available again? Is it something you'd like to see extended in other areas? Are these something you're going to be picking up? You know, the hardcore among you might want to get all 15 if you've, and that's even if you've got the originals, but I haven't got the space or the money. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. As ever, appreciate it hugely. I hope you're going to be able to join me this Sunday for my regular video. But until then, have a great week. Take care. Ta-da.
We'll meet you again. May God bless you. Adios.